this week we're going to completely show you how to take off the hardtop and put on a soft top. And we'll lift it off in the garage. The hoist in there will be another video, and a few options that maybe you'll like when you put yours on as well. Alright, so with that, let's get them swapped. Alright, so to take the top off, all it takes is your little tool kit that you get from Jeep. Okay, the outside ones takes a little short adapter. And while you're on this side, then we're going to disconnect for the defroster and the wiper and the windshield washing fluid. Right? You get this little red tab. Right? Just push it down. Right? Then you're going to push on the tab and it'll unplug. For the windshield washing fluid, there's a little tab here. Push that. Push this little tab in and that'll come loose. Then they provide you a location to plug it back in. That one will go back here. We're just going to loop this around, point it back the other direction, snap that in. So now that one's secured and so is the plug. We'll take our bolts off back here, then we'll move up front. 3 on each side. One's kind of hidden back there. Now obviously before you take the top off, you got to take your freedom panels off. Then there's, from the top, there's one on this side and on the other side as well. So should be 8 bolts. Get those all off and she'll lift right off. Okay, so I think the hoist worked out really good. It drawed it up to the ceiling. It works a lot better than what I had last year. That board down the center, I just used ratchet straps to bring it up. That hoist is really nice. Alright, now just to store your freedom panels, I think these are for bikes or hoses or whatever. They work really good just to store your freedom panels. Now you can tuck them behind things. It works really good for that. In the top, that's up in the ceiling. Alright, so let's put the top on. So in case this isn't all screwed together, there's a right hand here, and then on the other part there's a right hand here as well. So in this case the right hand will be passenger side. So you'll have to screw these together. There's a little spacer in there. So for the back it's the same thing. This one says left hand here, and I'll show you how these all snap on the back. And then over the doors it'll be the same way. Parts here will say left hand. It's real easy to put on. Just a lot of it is really just look at it, you'll figure it out pretty quick. Okay, so when you put the front section on, so these little bosses right here are on both sides. Those will go down into the holes in the sport bar. So basically you'll just set that on there, it'll line up front. And then the back is the same exact way. It will fit right into that trim. On the back there's those little pegs under it, and those slide right into the body. These mounts have the same bosses on them. They slide down inside of this into the body, and it also makes a seal on the front. So make sure that when this is all on, that the seal is right. Alright, then we do the same thing for the other side. Now, just so the seals work right, make sure that when you put this piece over, it's over the very top of here. And here it'll actually butt up against where your freedom panels will bolt in. That way they don't leak. Now for the other bolts, it's going to take the other Torx bit, right? That T40. You're going to use that. It was a T50 you used for everything else. So that's what will tighten up everything else. So these will just go through, and they're extra long because I got to go through the support bar. You'll have to feel when they start. So we're just using the ones without the large washer. They'll go through, and we'll come back and we'll tighten everything up. The hardest part of this job is just getting the other top off. So we'll just snug it up a little bit. Doesn't have to be like really tight. I like to get it all just in by hand and then come through and tighten everything up. The big thing is just making sure all your seals are right. So the back two pieces are the, if any of them's hard, it's the back two. So the back two will get the bigger washer. That's it. Tighten it down. It's kind of a joke when I said it's the harder of the two to put on. Right? They go on pretty easy. Then just tighten them up. Back on the other side, just set it over just like before. You know, just keep an eye on your seals. Make sure your seals are right. It'll kind of key into the body. Snug it up. That's where your window will lock in right there. So here, you know where it says door hinges. So if you look where it says, it'll say roof here, then windshield. So I'm going to put these bolts back in here that we're not going to use. It was in the hardtop. And then these will hold the soft top. Alright, so if you just got a top, it might come in the cover like this. That's a factory cover. I put it back in it every year. You just take it out of the cover and it goes on fairly easy. Alright, so it's kind of easy to figure out what goes where. That side right there will be the driver's side. That'll be the passenger. Now if you haven't put a top on at all yet, you might have to take these mounts and install these. So there's a cover that comes off here, and this mount will just screw on. Some of them will come with it, some of them won't. So it might be something you'll have to install, just depending on how your Jeep came. Once they're on, you can leave them on year round. Okay, so once you get this up here, if you pull this back, you'll be able to put the wheels in to get the top up. And you'll have to do that in order to get the locks in place. So wheel back, and it goes in the track. Now once you're in the track, so we've got this pin in. I'm going to put the bolt in and then do the other side. So if this came unlocked and it's pivoted, You might have to bring it back to the lock position to get this in the right position. Now just tighten them up. Should be able to just unlock the top. And push it forward. So let's get this back half finished up. I just want to draw this section up just a little bit. So remember, when you're putting it on, if you pull these back, it allows those wheels to go in. Then this little shoulder has to be in this mount, and this is the bolt that holds it in. If it's unlocked, you have to manually rotate it. And you'll see on the side of the main pivot, there's a lock and unlock. So make sure they're both up in the unlock position. So once the top itself is back, reach up here and pull this lever, and when that's unlocked, the whole thing will pivot back. Alright, so let me show you how to put it up and put the windows back in. You'll see in this track, there's this tube. Right. We'll just slide the windows right into it. Alright, so when you slide this in, this track, up inside here is that little bullet nose tube. It just slides on. This edge will tuck up inside of here, and then it'll snap onto the corner. Then these lower two edges have this hard plastic on it. They just go up under this edge and up under this edge. You'll just snap it up under, and it'll be a little bit loose till it's all in. And you just put it under it, and then adjust the Velcro up top. Alright, so your window will come with this bar as well. It'll have the same track that your other window slid into. And this bar will just fit right inside. So it'll fit right inside of there, and you'll line up off these pieces of trim to help seal. This is what holds the back of your window down. And we'll slide the window into this track. Your window has that same piece of trim on the bottom here. And the top piece, this little bullet, right, so that'll go into here. So to slide that on. And when you slide that on, so if you're looking at your window, these pieces will be up. Right, so when you get it in, just you'll slide that bar right into its location. And the window has the same hard plastic on both sides. So you'll just set it in one side, get the top tucked under. On the other side, just take this hard plastic edge, slide it in, and it'll just seal up. So you just pull a tab. You want the window up, you just got to set it up here. Well, last year we did add something different. We added this easy window arm. We got this at the Jeep Invasion at Pigeon Forge. So these just snap into a couple brackets that you mount onto the window, and it allows you to prop it up like it's a hard window. So you just take your window. Alright, for the easy window, you take this little bracket, this arm, you just snap it in. Just snap. There's one on both sides. So then you can leave your window in the up position and then make these little pins. You can put them in if you want to run around with it open like that. If you want it closed, it's just alright, when you want to close, you just lower it down, snap the window back in, put your seals back in, and that's it. Now, one thing we add to ours is I like the sunshade. It's nice having the roof back, but sometimes that sun can be intense. Expands both front and back. And if you do decide to put one of these up, don't let the ball hit the window. It will break it. Alright everyone, so that was taking off the hard top there, and we put a soft top on. That was a complete uninstall for the top. Lifted it up with the hoist we put in. That'll be future videos. There's many other ways to take it off though. And from there we went to the soft top. Alright, so if you like this type of content, please leave me some comments. Always love to know what you're thinking when you watch it. So check out some of the other videos that'll pop up here, or some of the other videos on the channel. So until then, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And whether it's be on the trail, in the garage, or at a show somewhere, we'll see you there.